Microsoft just released their own AI image generator. It is featured on Bing's website called the Bing Image Creator, and it is going to rival the famous AI companies out there such as Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, you name it. And it currently utilizes OpenAI's DALL-E to generate the images. So let's take a comparison with the current Microsoft image creator compared to some popular, well-known other AI image generators such as Midjourney. And let's see how they stack up together. So here I am on Microsoft Bing.com's website, and you do need to create an account. And at the current moment, they give you credits in order to create the images. And based off of what it states, essentially these are fast credits. So they say these are boost. And then obviously when you run out, they'll take a little longer. So with Midjourney, it's similar, especially when you run out of fast hours. So Midjourney currently you have to pay if you want to do unlimited, but it's free if you want to do basic. So we'll see the plans they create after they get more users, but let's just do a prompt comparison. I'll type in something and then we'll see what we come up with. So let's go ahead and say a chipmunk wearing a bathing suit eating a pizza in space. And let's see what this comes out with. Prompt has been blocked. Our flag. System flagged this prompt because it contains conflict with the content policy. So, interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the content policy and see what exactly is the blocked word. So that's interesting. Here is their current content policy. So let's take a look at this really quick. So we're off to a slow start right now. And it says adult content, sure, got it there. So injury, violence, harmful. So I guess probably the only word I think it would say is the bathing suit. So let's try this. Try it again. A chipmunk wearing a tuxedo eating a pizza on Mars. So this looks a lot more within their content policy, and as we can see, it shows it being loaded up right here. So in terms of this UI, I mean it's okay, it's different, but it's definitely not the same as Midjourney. And as we can see, here is our image. So you can see this is my previous image I had prior, but let's just take a look really quick. So we have the chipmunk wearing a tuxedo, eating a pizza, and it looks like Mars. Now in terms of realism, it's definitely not even close to Midjourney. So let's do this. Let's copy this exact prompt. I'm gonna go over to Midjourney, let it load up, and then I'll show you the results after I go ahead and finish that. So here is the result of typing in the exact same prompt on Midjourney version 5. And as you can see, the realism in this picture is levels above Microsoft Bing's image creator. The details in the pizza, even the chipmunk, so much better. The one thing I do notice with Midjourney is actually eating. For example, the top left picture, sometimes they don't get it right, but the upgraded versions I'm sure will be significantly better. Looking back at Microsoft Bing's version, again, I mean, for the first release, it's not bad. It looks similar to Midjourney's early releases. However, right off the bat, I mean, just the restrictions on here are already significantly stronger than Midjourney's. So I think in terms of creativity, this is definitely going to make it limited because certain things you just won't be able to search up, even though it's not necessarily a thing you thought would be prompted as blocked. For example, like I thought bathing suit would be like swim shorts, but I guess they just have different words. So let's try one more prompt and then I'll take a look at the Explore page to see what is actually being created. So let's try something futuristic, luxury, sports car driving in future city. And let's go ahead and click on create. And here is the result. So this looks a little bit better in terms of realism. However, we'll see the comparison with Midjourney because I can still see some of the not so hyper realistic parts in this picture. However, if you were to show me this a year ago, or even 2-3 years ago, I would have thought this was quite interesting, quite real. And if I saw this on like Instagram, for example, I would not know the difference in terms of a realistic picture and AI generated. However, let's compare this with Midjourney and see the difference. So now here is Midjourney's version. So it's almost quite similar. I think the details is in the imagination of Midjourney. It's more of a concept design that we haven't seen out in public, whereas the Bing image creator was more similar to car models that we currently have today. And also the view of the city is a lot nicer as well. However, they are almost fairly similar, I'd say, for this particular prompt. So now back on the Bing creator, let's try this option called Surprise Me and see what this does. So I'm gonna guess it's going to give us a random prompt, a brown rat terrier dressed as a jungle explorer, digital art. So let's see this new added comma digital art to see what that does. So actually it shows us, tip, try adding a style such as digital art. A robot made an an analog stereo equipment, digital art. So let's see if this changes the way the results look. So here we go. We have the dog dressed up, jungle explorer, and it looks like digital art. So yeah, this is very similar to the DALL-E style images. So it's still, clearly you can tell these are not realistic. And in terms of the current version, I'm sure weeks from now, even months, who knows how quick they're going to upgrade this, but it's going to be interesting. Now take a look at this, the exact same prompt in Midjourney, and just look at the difference. Some of the pictures, surprisingly, they actually look quite similar to Bing's image creator. However, these bottom two right here, the dog just looks literally realistic. The only thing is, I noticed this background does look a little fake looking. However, the actual dog in these two look quite realistic. This one definitely looks more cartoonish, and this one looks very highly filtered. So this one I could definitely see it being AI generated. However, if they were to get the backgrounds a little bit better in terms of realism, and this one in particular, then it could get away with the actual looking as if someone in real life took that picture. But just the levels of comparison, you can already see Midjourney current version 5 is light years ahead of Bing. However, if Bing were to come out with new updates, then who knows which one's going to come out on top. So now let's go look at what other people are creating out there. So far we saw the current in the beginning, this, and we can see this one actually looks pretty realistic. Let's take a look at this one real quick. So from the smaller view, it actually looked much better, but once it's enlarged, I can definitely see this is more like a painting style. So that one doesn't look as realistic as I thought. But in general, we can look at most of these images and we can see that they are cartoonish and definitely don't look realistic compared to Midjourney's. So overall thoughts, it seems like the Bing image creator is not at the level of the current image AI generators out there. However, once they do start to make upgrades, we might see some major competition. Aside from that, be sure to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.